I, just like many people, have been in a weird spot in life where, you try things and then you have to retry things and you try new things, but then a lot of the steps that you're taking forward just feel like you're walking on a treadmill, just out in the middle of everybody. It's like you're trying to go up and down an escalator. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna watch this video. Love Dr. K. Love Healthy Gamer GG. It's helped me through a lot in the past. Back when I was living by myself, I used to watch those videos all the time when I was doing Uber drives and stuff like that. Like in between taking in passengers, I used to just have it playing on the side, on my breaks and stuff. So we're gonna dive in, and he's gonna have a lecture about puer aeternus. So the puer aeternus concept seems to be one that in which you are a ball of untapped potential and you need to wake the fuck up. So I'm gonna listen to this. With I'm gonna listen to this with I'm gonna listen to this with intention and from the place of I'm gonna assume everything that he's saying about me is correct. I'm not gonna throw any excuses into the mix. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be that archetype in which he's talking about so that I can figure out what to do next. And then I'm gonna try that.
So the problem of puer aeternus is one of unrealized potential. The basic issue here is that puer aeterni, first of all, is an archetype, and we're going to go into what that means, okay? But the basic issue is that we have within us a voice that is creative and excited, okay? That is the voice of the inner child. We get hyped about things. So puer aeternus literally means, puer means is the word for male child. There's also puella aeternus, female child, and aeternus means forever. So people who are stuck with this childlike view of the world, they cannot work hard, they cannot commit to things. The key problem is that it's a problem of like not being able to give up potential. That is why they cannot live up to their potential. Any door that I walk through in life means that I am closing other doors. If I get married to this person, that means that I cannot get married to this person. If I choose to major in this in college, that means I can't major in that in college.
Now, I can think of quite a few examples straight off the bat of the potential that I'm not tapping into. Yeah, I've released a couple singles on Spotify and YouTube Music, shameless plug. You can go check them out. I'm gonna put them in the description below. All sorts of good shit. But at the same time, I've been loving music for 15 years now or something like that. I think 10. I think I started. I was 16. 9 years. 9 years. Holy math. For 9 years now. And I still can't read sheet music. If you were here from the beginning of this channel, back when it was JT&T, back when it went through other transformations, you would know that I used to post covers and music tutorials and things of that sort. And I did blow up off of that for a couple videos. And yeah, when I went through my schizophrenia diagnosis and a lot of the things that were happening, again, this is like 4 or 5 years ago when this happened. So again, no excuse, plenty of time to catch up after that. I still haven't come back into making that style of video. There's something always mentally that's like holding me back from making that style of video that was working for me. You know what I mean? The gaming videos, they get like 13 views. I feel satisfied when I make them, but I don't feel satisfied with not seeing the reward after years of making them. I'm not gonna hold you. And that's the same for every other type of video that I made. But when I was doing covers and guitar tutorials, ukulele tutorials and shit like that, when I was just looking up chords and like, hey, this is how you play this, people were loving those videos, and I stopped making them. Simply because I was going through something and I never looked back. So yeah, I definitely see myself in that position. There's an example of something you're going through in that position. Look within yourself. See if there's something that you've been missing out on. There's a clear variable here that I need to tap into.
So many of us are like, we're paralyzed with being able to move forward because there's this idea of like, what if it doesn't work? This is the problem to solve. We are a community of puer aeterni. We're a community of people who have potential and don't live up to it. We're a community of people who are gifted but don't turn it into something. Okay, this is our quick recap. In addition, there is an arrogant attitude toward other people due to both an inferiority complex and false feelings of superiority. Such people also usually have great difficulty in finding the right kind of job, for whatever they find is never quite right or quite what they wanted. There is always a hair in the soup. The woman is also never quite the right woman. She is a nice girlfriend, but there is always a but, which prevents marriage or any kind of definitive commitment. So puer aeternus is a life of hair in the soup. Something just doesn't work. It's like, okay, but like,
Holy shit, so far I don't even have to pretend for any of these. Yeah, I've definitely done that. There's always the potential for something better than the situation that I'm currently in. And yeah, there's like always this like looming sense of dissatisfaction. This looming sense of dissatisfaction with the current position that I'm in. And it's always that. And then that step forward that I'm gonna have to take, holy shit, it's a big commitment. May as well start doing this shit to see where that takes off. But then it doesn't take off. Yo, my God, I'm a Patreris. And this whole thing I'm already knowing is gonna be expect no patronum if you're a Patreris if you can't lock the fuck in. Meaning there's gonna be no magical light in anything if you don't pursue it. That was a bar, you can't even lie.
Right? And then there's this story of like this person who learned all of these like yogic exercises and was able, trained himself to sleep outdoors just because he didn't want to carry a pack. Right? So the puer will never, or puella, will never deign themselves to be ordinary. I would rather go through heroic growth and be exceptional in this way. But it's not true heroism. It is avoidance of the dreary, avoidance of doing things like other people. Like, I'm not one of the plebs. For fuck's sake, I'm not one of the plebs.
Holy shit, this dude is clocking me right now. So the puer has a disdain or like just repels from the idea of being ordinary. There's always got to be this thing, this great thing that they need to accomplish. And I would say that's rather true for myself. I was always taught to leave a legacy behind. I was always taught to be great at the things that I choose to do. And to live up to that. And to always try to carry that with me. Don't settle for what you're not worth. On one hand, that's a very good affirmation. But on the other hand, that could put a lot of strain and stress on a lot of people who are like me. This whole idea that you're not really enough. Like, let me rephrase that, because the people that taught me to excel are, you know, my parents and shit, who they see me the way that I really wish I saw myself. They see the greatness that I'm able to accomplish. So I'm not phrasing this in a way that makes it seem like, oh, you're putting so much pressure on me. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. But there is this sense going around with everybody in this society right now where you have to make something great of yourself or else you're nothing. All the songs are about, you know, if you broke, you ain't shit. All the relationship advice is about, yo, what can you do for me? All right, so we gonna be this fucking power couple. You know what I mean? Like, there's always this sense that you have to be the best. So everybody trying to affirm themselves to go to through their day-to-day life is trying to hype themselves up to be the best and comparing themselves to the best, the people who have worked to become the best. But we all lose that sense of just loving yourself for existing. Dude, I ask myself all the time, what the fuck would I be doing if society wasn't society? And then I'm happy about my situation, and then I'm able to be happy. Cause like legit, I'm just chilling with my grandma. I'm chilling with my friends. I'm playing video games with my other friends. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm learning hobbies. I'm learning new hobbies. I learned how to paint. I learned how to animate. I play like 6 different instruments. I could sing. I learned how to rap. I learned how to make little music videos, and I posted those on TikTok. But that sustainability to feed the algorithm and become successful off of that, that's the thing that I draw back to that makes me upset about my current situation and where I'm at, and then comparing myself to other people. And yo, we gotta stop doing that to ourselves, bro. I think with the Potreros and the Patronuses and the Petrellas, I think he said for the ladies out there, what we need to learn is acceptance, like full on acceptance. Because once you do that, you can do the step by step thing that's gonna build brick by brick that staircase that you need to your success. I think the Potrero's fatal flaw is that they think about the goal. They think about the legacy, the big, perfect thing that's that vision in their head that nobody could tell them that they're not going to be able to chase. And good for you for thinking that. But they see that vision and they want to be there so bad that they'll brush everything off on that path. And then when it gets too hard, they switch. Like, this vision is still here, but maybe I'll go this way to get there. Maybe I'll go this way to get there. Instead of tunneling through. That's like trying to dig through a mountain and then starting to dig through the mountain. And instead of getting all the way through the mountain, you're like, fuck. Maybe there was some softer soil on that side to get through it. So you exit the hole that you dug, go back around to this side of it, and then start digging, and then you make it just as far as you did last time, and it's like, oh shit. Now you got all these different holes, but none of them poke all the way through. Bruh, that's me so fucking hard. That's me so fucking hard.
Fantasy life is being cherished within. They have great, great hopes and great, great dreams. Okay? And they also evoke a response of like wanting to throttle them. Like, oh, I'm going to stop fucking sitting around and doing nothing. You have all these dreams in your head. Let me take a bucket of cold water and throw it over your head. This response is not just triggered by external people, it's triggered by your own mind. So you will feel this response to, why can't I just snap out of it, make a commitment, and just get up and grind every day? This is the problem of puer.
Exactly that is what I've been meaning to accomplish this year. I told myself, like everybody else, 2025 is going to be my year. 2025 is going to be my year. You always say the next year is going to be your year if it's not your year yet. But what I've been aiming to do this year is to actually gain some passion for something that I'm going to take all the way. I may or may not have been falling into the same habit of, trying out a whole bunch of different things instead of, swallowing the pill on one specific thing and riding that all the way. But this year I've been trying to choose better habits. Like I decided to go up to the college and start reading from their library since I couldn't get accepted into college. I tried to apply for college again. That fell through because of a whole application process. They said they were funked up in their application process, and I was like, okay, but I'll try again next semester, whatever. I've been posting, I want to say consistently, but more consistently than I've been posting in the past few years. You guys are actually getting kind of like videos now. So yeah, that's been working out. Is it the covers and the music tutorials from the ones that actually got me 25,000 views from the videos that you guys can't see because I deleted my channel before? No, but I have been posting. But yeah, like sometimes I'll wake up and before I even get to brush my teeth, the voices in my head, the voices in my ears are saying, hey, you ain't doing shit. You ain't doing shit. You're a loser. You're this. You're that. And that happens before I get to brush my teeth. And I'm all like, bro, shut the fuck up. I ain't even brushed my teeth yet. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? But I can't make that my life. I quite literally cannot make that my life, or else I'm gonna be nothing, and I don't want to be nothing so bad. If only the voices in my head were more encouraging. And I don't mind a little bit of tough love, but if it's happening to my face, like this whole extra shit, like, okay, side tangent about what my schizophrenia feels like. Again, I'm not making excuses, but I just need to explain the perspective that I'm trying to explain right here. It feels as though I'm in like telecommunication with everybody that I know, and they get to just pop up into my head and hear all of my business and see everything that I'm doing. Like, I can't take a piss in private. Like, quite literally, I can't take a piss in private without everybody. Not even, they don't even have to be in proximity. They could be all the way across the world. But if I've met you, your voice is in my head and you're watching me take a piss. But I have no idea what's going on in your life unless I ask. So I'm constantly arguing about that shit like it's real. Which that daily thought reinforces the idea of leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. It sucks. It sucks to deal with. So I've been, trying to put myself out there in ways that actually fucking make sense. Been communicating with people in ways where I meet them as people and not just these constructs in my head that aren't real. It's a daily battle. It's a daily battle. And I absolutely cannot use that as a crutch to stay where I am. And everybody is going through their own bullshit, kind of like that, but in their own way. Whatever the voice in their head is saying, or if they even have a fucking head in their voice. Maybe it's their circumstances. Maybe it's their family. Maybe it's the lack of any social interaction. It's the loneliness. Whatever the fuck you're going through, dude. Being a Patronus on top of that, fuck. We gotta lock in, bro. We gotta lock in.
I can't do it. So puers can work really hard. They're just not in control of their work. And this is what's so devastating about it, is because we all know, right? We have this like fantasy of like, not fantasy, we have this reality of there was 72 hours where I woke up, I felt great. I was hyped, I was engaged, I wanted the flow state, I got the flow state, I produced something that was truly brilliant. And then day 4 rolled around, day 5 rolled around, and then I didn't feel like doing it. And instead of forcing themselves to continue doing it when they don't feel like, they search endlessly for the way to reignite that spark. I don't want to do the hard work. I want to find the perfect optimization, yogic technique, supplement thing, brain hacking, biohacking, spirituality, wellness, health, whatever, perfect environment, productivity solution, reading 100 productivity books, summarized in a 10-minute YouTube video so I don't actually have to read the books. I bottled lightning for 72 hours. I don't want to generate electricity using a treadmill. I want to learn how to consistently bottle lightning. This is the problem of puer.
Yeah, so this one is in complete context of the Potrero, the Patronus, but I don't think it's necessarily exclusive to the Potrero, Patronum, Expecto Patronum. This is a common thing that I've seen in artists. Like in general, creators in general, waiting for inspiration to strike. It's that whole thing of, yeah, I can work hard. I was just doing overtime at fucking Amazon when, like, running in and out of them vans. Like, you know what I mean? I can work hard. I was just a barista, and I was making the fuck out of them drinks for tips. I can work hard. But it's that thing of working for yourself. It's that thing of being able to lock in for yourself. Nobody telling you what to do. You having this plan to execute, and it all being on you. You being the driver of the car. That makes it difficult for some reason. You could give yourself tasks. You can give yourself a certain amount of hours to complete those tasks, and then it just falls through. The challenge is finding out where that comes from, but then you spend your time overthinking about where it comes from instead of locking in. I do this. But you can't really fix it unless you think about where it came from. You got to think about the source of the problem to fix the problem, right? But the solution to the problem is to put in the work. It's like it feels like a catch-22 when it really shouldn't be, because everybody who's made it to be successful has figured out that answer, and it was so simple to them and they wish they'd known it sooner. So it's like, really, what is that difference between the person who is able, like, you know this, what is that difference between the person who is able to do it and the person who's thinking about it? And don't obviously say the person who did it. Because this is where we're at. This is that cycle. The person that did it, and the person that's thinking about doing it is still thinking about doing it. But what is that fundamental difference that, like, what is that switch? Let's keep listening.
The drive is real. The archetype is real. You know that there's truth to it. Like, y'all know that. You know you can be great. But something along the way happens where the primordial unconscious, is it filters through your personality structure, is it filters through your cognitive structure, turns out in a weird way.
One last thing before I close out this video, and y'all can go watch the rest of that video for yourself. I'm going to give an example of somebody that I looked up to as a kid and I admire to this day. Timothy Delgado, Tim Chantarangsu. Oh my God, English. Ain't even really English, is it? Tim Chantarangsu. Bruh said he was going to create content and his music until becoming an actor. Did that very thing. How long is it taking him? How long is it taking him? But he sat and did that very thing. He said, I want to make content, I want to make music until I eventually become an actor. That is exactly what he set out to do from the very beginning to this day. And not many people can say they followed that same path. I think our problem, our us expecto patronuses out there, is that we're not putting our eggs into one basket. I gotta go against my parents' wishes. I gotta disobey my parents on this one too. Cause it ain't like I ain't done it before. I gotta put my eggs in one basket. It's what I gotta do. I gotta put all my eggs in one basket. I gotta full throttle at one thing. And then all them other things will be there along the journey just because of the type of person I am. It's gonna gravitate towards me. That's how that's gonna work. I'm gonna go for one specific thing. I'm gonna see it all the way through, and I'm not gonna stop once I see results. I gotta keep doing exactly what I'm doing all the way up until I die. It's gotta be something that I'm gonna die with. It's something that I could go ahead and die doing. In the middle of it, if I croak, I'm like, yeah, I did that shit. It's gotta be that. It's gotta be that. And it's gotta be so simple. This is the goal thing. Don't take what I'm saying and go like, oh, it's gotta be perfect. No, not even that. It's never gonna be perfect. It's never, ever, ever, ever gonna be perfect. But it's something that no matter what mood I'm in, I'm gonna do it. Fuck what even I gotta say about it. And then all the other stuff that I've been putting that thing off to go do will just fall in line on that path. Just because I like to do those things, so they're gonna gravitate towards me. I'm gonna have common interests with people who do those things on their path when they plow through to that shit. I'm gonna have conversations with those people and they're gonna be like, oh shit, you like this thing? I do this thing. Hey, let's see what happens if we do this thing and that thing. And then you get to do the other thing that you were distracting yourself doing. It's crazy how that works. I've seen it happen all the time. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave off on. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go watch the rest of that Dr. K video, because you need therapy.
If even there is one, is just where I am on my journey. I've managed my puer in a way that, like, it just shows up sometimes now, but it's not like I don't have my struggles or anything like that. So this is not something you can do. It is a transformation that must happen on the psychological level. The war that you need to fight is not in action. It is not just do it. It is like when there is an impulse within you to not want to do it, to do it.